Good morning, everyone. Taking a look at from our downtown Midland camera, definitely some clouds are filling into the region. It is relatively going to be cloudy today. We'll have some peaks of sunshine, but generally we're going to see more of those clouds than anything. Walking out 60% humidity, we'll definitely take that besides kind of that 10% humidity that we're always working with here in the basin. 63 degrees right now, walking out the door, a little bit more of that south-southeasterly flow, around 10 to 20 as we go in throughout much of the day, maybe occasional gusts, especially from those thunderstorms. Here's kind of the temperatures, what we're looking at right now, area-wide 60s and 50s, walking out the door, 71 in Presidio, 64 up into Knox City, 61 down into Big Spring. Here's kind of that line of storms that is slowly starting to push well out of our region, going through the central Texas region. Definitely some good, just kind of light to moderate showers. I think we'll definitely would appreciate that. Definitely we'll take that severe tag off. But the thing is, though, we are still going to be expecting another round of severe weather possible today. Here's kind of where we're looking at. Same type of deal all the way up into near Wichita, down into our lower portions of the regions as that storm is slowly starting to move well out of our region. But today we're going to have that other round. Here's kind of a closer look. We're going to have that dry line initiation again. It is going to be a bit further off into the west, so I'll talk about that in just a bit. Under that level 2 out of 5 slight risk heading into the Permian Basin, a little bit more into the Big Country or Contra Valley, just kind of that level 1 out of 5 marginal risk as the storms push west to east. So here's kind of the main threats that we are looking at again, kind of into that yellow color. That's where the greatest threat is going to be for that potential severe hail, maybe up to 1 inch to 2 inches in diameter. That is nearly up to kind of like a pool ball size hail. So definitely let's try not to get that again with more of those gusty winds. Nearly up to 60 miles per hour could be possible, and even maybe up to 70 miles per hour into the stronger storms. But unfortunately, we cannot rule out an isolated tornado that could be possible, especially along into our southern portions again, around near the Fort Stockton, Alpine, Sanderson, and Pecos area, down into the southern portions of the basin. Here's kind of where that dry line is going to set up. This is our most convective allowing model. It typically is a little bit of aggressive, but I'm kind of liking what it's trying to put out here with some storms that will start putting off into the western portion, push a little bit east. I don't think the coverage is going to be this much at the moment. I think it'll probably be a little bit more spotty here and there, but I think we'll get some clusters along into our southern portions as it slowly pushes into the Big Country or Contra Valley, and with that it would just become very isolated in nature. I don't think everyone is going to end up seeing rain, but we are still looking at another severe weather threat heading into our Thursday. It is just a level 1 out of 5 marginal risk right now. I suspect, and possibly in some areas we can see a little bit of an upgrade, but tomorrow doesn't look as impressive as pretty much what yesterday was. So we're definitely keeping our radar as we head into our Thursday. Here's kind of our in-house model, how it takes it. A dry line is going to still set up off into the west, produce some storms that is likely going to again help form off into the mountains. Those mountains play a big role with our storm formations here across the region, and they'll push west to east and pushing a little bit more of those stronger storms into the Big Country and the Contra Valley, as that threat is just a little bit more on that wider scale, at least when it comes to Thursday, and they'll push well out of the region with some light showers possible heading into our Friday morning. And with that, we are suspecting just a little bit more of some isolated storms. The severe threat is a little bit more into our northern portions of the Big Country and the Permian Basin. I don't think it looks too impressive at the moment, but it's again something we're just keeping an eye on. But today, though, is going to be warm, kind of similar to yesterday, into those mid to upper 80s, maybe even some 90s, especially off into the most western portions, as we're not really going to get much precipitation over there, with more of those 80s and even some upper 70s across the Big Country and the Contra Valley, with a little bit more of that southeasterly wind around 10 to 20 miles an hour. So weather impact alert for the later half of the day for the Big Country and the Contra Valley. A little bit of storms is still going to be possible. That could be strong to severe as well heading into our Thursday. Still keeping an eye if we're going to go ahead and put out an alert for that if the storm intensification keeps picking up into possibly more of that stronger to severe side. But we're keeping an eye heading into Thursday and Friday as well. But as we head into the weekend for early next week, we're going to warm back up into those 80s and 90s. We'll be back after the break.